Hi, and welcome to Pilates Done Right. My name is Melanie. I'm a comprehensively certified Pilates instructor and personal trainer. And today I'm just going to go through a short little workout. It's in between the holidays and it's hard to even know what day it is right now. I'm feeling the food I've been eating, and so I just need to move. So if you'd like to move with me, you're welcome to join in. And we're going to start with footwork. So I'll lay back with my heels on the footbar, inner hip distance apart. My feet are flexed back toward me, and my arms are long by my side. I'm just going to press the carriage back and control it back in. We'll do a few of these. And this workout today is probably going to be about a level 2, but not a very strong one. Only level 2 for a couple of the things I'm going to throw in there that maybe wouldn't be right for everybody. We'll do 2 more. And we'll bring it down to the toes with the heels lifted slightly. And I'm just working to maintain that same lift of the heels the whole time. Working to keep the weight even across both feet and both legs working evenly. 2 more. And Pilates V. I like to tell people, keep your toes where they are, just connect your heels together, and that usually gets everybody right into the position. So I'll throw some cues into this for aspiring instructors listening. And we have 2 more. And 1. All right, and then heels wide on the footbar. Again, the feet are flexed back toward me. This is where I always bump the carriage. Trying to control that. And 2. And 1. All right, I'll go back. I'm going to roll up and change my springs. I did footwork on 3 reds. I'm going to take it down to a red and a blue. Lay back down. I'm going to go for coordination today, just because I like it better than the 100. And so there's lots of different ways to teach this. I'm just going to kind of take it where my body's willing to go today. So I've got my knees on tabletop, and actually I'm not doing the 100, so I'm going to bring my hands here by my sides, elbows by my side, and from here I'm going to roll up to the 100 position, open close the legs, pull the knees in, then bend the elbows, and here I'm going to stay curled up because I'm feeling it today. Again, extend out to the 100, open close, pull the knees in, and bend the elbows. 1 more time. Open, close, pull the knees in, then bend the elbows. Now I'll lower the head. Next version I'm going to do is iron cross. I'm going to stay up and do probably 4 of these. So from here up to the 100 position, arms open, and 3, 2, and 1. Pull the knees in, then bend the elbows, then lower the head. Starfish is next. And this is just how I teach it. From here up to the 100, arms and legs open and close like a jumping jack. Open and close. 2 more times. Open and close. Woo! And 1. And then we'll pull the knees in, then bend the elbows, then lower the head. I'm going to push myself a little bit here to do the 1 leg version. So here we go. Up to the 100 position, and we'll send the right leg out slightly to the side, back to center. Left leg slightly to the side, back to center. And as I do this, I'm working really hard to keep my hips stable. The whole body very still. Last one to the left, and center. Pull the knees in, then bend the elbows, and lower the head. All right, and we're going right into feet and straps. We can do that on the same weight. There we go. All right, get myself situated here. There we go. And I'll just start in with lower and lifts. It's where I always start. Of course, working to keep the upper body quiet on the carriage. Imagining a little blueberry under my low back. I'm trying not to squish it as I lift my legs up, and then not to let it roll away as I lower. I can't take credit for the blueberry. I learned that in my training. But it's a good visual or mental picture to kind of help the clients understand where their upper body needs to stay. It's just that nice neutral spine the whole time. Another cue I like to give here is to really press the legs down and resist the straps back up. And when I put that in, that kind of helps them to find a little bit more of a resistance rather than just riding it up like that. So I'll work that and take it into circles. Do one more in this direction. And then that might have been two. Never said I could count. Reverse. I'm going to take some frogs and some swimming frogs next. And then I'm going to go into short spine. Now, short spine is an inversion exercise, so if it's not right for your body, I'll do a couple of reps of a low version of it that won't take you upside down. And then that way, if you are not feeling into the inversion today, or if it's, not good for you for whatever reason, then you can continue with those. And I'll take everybody through short spine. Heels together, toes apart first for frogs. And we're just bending and lengthening. Again, you can cue your clients to find resistance here. Really lengthen out and then resist the springs in. I'll do two more if I can count. And one. And swimming frogs. Bend the knees in. We'll stabilize the carriage here, take it out to a capital V. And then with straight legs, bring the heels down and together. Bend the knees in, capital V. Carriage moves down and together. Bend the knees in, capital V. Down together. One more. Capital V. Down together, then reverse. Back out to the capital V. Knees bend, heels together. Press it out like a frog. Capital V. Carriage doesn't move for this part. Press it out like a frog. Capital V. Knees bend, heels together. Press. Two more. Capital V. Knees bend, heels together. Press it out. And last one. Knees bend, heels together. And press. I'm just going to take a quick inner thigh stretch. And now while I'm doing this, when I cue that breaststroke, if I'm seeing a client that's really struggling with it, I'll actually go and stand beside them and do the same thing with my arms and have them follow. So I'll be like, bend the knees in, take it out to a capital V, heels down together, and I'll take them through that with my arms, just the same way doing what they need to do. So that sometimes helps people. All right, so short spine. You'll notice my headrest is down, so I don't have anything behind my head. I'm going to take the low version first, as promised. So from our home position here, we'll just bring the legs up and allow the hips to roll up just slightly. And here I get a nice stretch through my low back. We'll bend the knees in, and then as the hips roll down, just circle the legs down and out. And again, hips roll up slightly, knees bend in, and lengthen back out. And so it's almost like giant unicycle backwards, I guess, pedaling backwards. So that's where you need to go if your body is not able to do inversions for, you know, the medical reasons or just not going there today. And here's the last one for me. I'm going to take it into short spine for those of you who can. So from here, we're arcing the feet up overhead toward the top corner of the room behind me. I've docked the carriage. The knees bend in Pilates V. Keep the feet over the face as you roll the tailbone away. Once you've reached that stretch right here, we'll bend the knees and bring the heels to the glutes. Press it back out. I'll do 2 more. Arc it up and over, dock the carriage. It's there somewhere. There we go. Knees bend in, roll the tailbone away. And heels to glutes. Press it out. And last one. There it is. Tailbone away from the heels, keeping the feet over the face as long as I can, and then bend the knees and lengthen out. And I'm ready to come out of the loops. I'm not going to take the box on today because I'm a little bit limited in time. So we're just going to come up and do a little bit of arm work facing the footbar. I want you to take the loops back here and bring it to, I'm going to do a blue today. You can do this on a red, but I'm not sure how my shoulders are going to be, so we're just going to do a blue. And I'm just taking crisscross applesauce, and I'm just going to do some serve a tray. Yeah, I could probably do this on a red, we'll see. And bend. So here I'm just lengthening, open, close, and bend. Let's try it with the short since I'm on a blue. So there's options here. If you've got people going and one's like, this is too light, can I change it? Then you can just say, just take the short loops, or you can change the springs. So here I'm really trying to keep my whole spine nice and tall. And I'm going to up it a little bit here and take some circles. And even on a lighter weight, the more you do of this, the harder it gets. So it does start to increase in challenge as you go. I'm going to reverse. There's the challenge. I'm starting to shake a little here. Ooh. One more. I'm going to bring my hands right to my forehead. And here I want to lean forward a little bit, but not hunch forward. So I want to hinge forward. Fingertips are together, if you can see, like this on my forehead. We're just hovering in front of, and we're taking it toward the top corner of the room and bend. And so I'm trying really hard to keep my upper body stable and still. And again, not slouching forward. That's one of the things I see the most here is people say, you say lean forward, and this is where they go. And it's supposed to be more of just a slight hinge. And one more. And bend. Alrighty. I'm going to go into, I'm going to add a red spring back on. I'm going to go into long stretch. So for this one, we'll want to take the headrest up. Red, blue again for the spring weight. That's a heavy and a medium. Hands on the foot bar, and I'm stepping my feet right into the space between the shoulder blocks. And away we go. I love long stretch. It's a good full body challenge. And it's satisfying at the same time. Of course, you have to kind of like planks, and I can't say I don't like planks a little bit, but I like long stretch better than planks. Probably because it's fun. 2 more. This is actually sometimes when I don't have time for a workout, I'll just hop on and do as many of these as I possibly can. It's like a full body workout in 5 minutes. So there is that. Last one. All right. I'm going to take it to elephant. Just a nice level 1 exercise here, but for a holiday reset, it's a good thing. We got the round back version going today, but flat back is also an option if you have the hamstring flexibility. Let's go 4, 3, and you'll notice my shoulders aren't moving. I'm just finding this work in my lower abdominals. Last one. And we'll go for down stretch. So I'm coming down to my knees. Little clothing adjustment. All right. Feet are molded up against the shoulder blocks. Knees are down. I'm sending the hips forward and lifting the chest. And here I like to cue my clients to lift even higher than the foot bar. So once they're in this position, see if they can press themselves up even higher. And then from here, hold the position, lengthen back, and lift to bring it back in all the way and lift a little farther. And then again, sink back and bring it in and lift. We'll do 3 more. Sending it back, bringing it in and lift. Here we're working scapular stability. We're getting a little bit of a stretch through the front of the body, but still keeping that supported. So we've got the navel pulling in toward the spine. Last one. And of course, extension here. Then I'm just going to sit back and take a little stretch. All right. And I have to wind it down. So I'm going to finish with Mermaid and then with Lunge. So for Mermaid, I'll take the Z-sit position, which puts my shin up against the shoulder block. Take it down to 1 red. And here we go, just side bending up and over. I'll cue my clients to open up the outside ribs and then try to not collapse into the inside ribs. So we want to keep a little bit of a lift here even as well. Coming back in. And 2 more. And in. This feels so good. And last one. And here I'm going to round forward and I'll get some rotation. I like to bring my hand across to the other side of the frame. But not everybody has that, so Footbar works, or even just a reach, you know, wherever it needs to be for you. Whew. I'll de-rotate, come back to the straight side bend position first, and then come up to tall. Take a little counter stretch. And turn around and face the other way. All right, here we go. And here you can see I'm working to keep my outside hip down. And that helps me to open up the ribs. It's very common to see people go out here, really looking for this up and over. One more time for the rotation, up and over, and rounding forward into this lovely stretch. And I'll de-rotate, come up tall. Counter stretch. That's my headrest going here. And lunge. Well, for lunge, we'll put our standing foot just beside the bottom of the foot bar. And we'll put our other foot on the headrest. Shoulder block. Knee is down on the carriage, hands on the foot bar. We'll sink down into this stretch. So it's more about going down than it is going back. So I like to cue my clients to open up this hip and sink down toward the floor into it. And bring it back in. And then it's almost become a running joke. I always say, shoulders are relaxed, heads up in alignment, and big smiles, everybody. Because actually that smile helps open up the chest as well. So there is a purpose in it. Other than that it's the end of the class and everybody should be nice and happy. And then I'm just going to take a little stretch further back. Now this is not much and it's not satisfying probably to watch, but I'm keeping this hip down and open, and that actually makes it harder to get a deep stretch. Harder to get like a split stretch where your leg goes straight. So here I'm getting a big stretch right here. Pull it all the way in. Ooh. I'm going to take it to the other side. Standing leg just behind or beside the bottom of the foot bar. And here we go, sinking down into it. Trying to keep my hips square. And just open up this hip. And we'll do 2 more. Sinking down into it. And I will say this little bit of an extra stretch that I'm going to do on the next one that I added on there, that is not necessarily a traditional exercise. It's just kind of an add-on. So if you decide to do it, that's up to you. I sink my hips down and I don't allow my clients to pike back up to straighten this front leg. So all I'll do is keep your hip open, just slide the carriage back a little bit farther till you feel a stretch through this thigh, the back of the thigh. And then we'll bring it all the way in. And we are finished. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day.